Good evening, Dean Freck here. Hey, do you find it difficult sometimes to empathize with others? To walk a mile in somebody else's shoes, especially in light of many of the national and world events are going on. Well, I used to be the same way, and stick with me tonight, and I am going to give you a couple of the tips, I guess, that I use to kind of overcome that. So if this video has been forwarded or shared with you, my name is Dean. The cat's name is Bandit. We're coming to you from Kansas City, Missouri. My arm is getting a bath right now, so I guess I don't need to take a shower later. But we've named 2020 our best year ever, and our mission is to help ordinary people like you and I grow and develop our confidence, whether that's in a traditional full-time job, in entrepreneurship, in business, or in life. And I absolutely believe that when we work on our goals and dreams to better ourselves and the lives of our family, that our confidence grows as well. So, in addition to my upbringing, I had my very first business trip at the young old age of 21, and I was living and working in Omaha, Nebraska at the time, and we had to go to upstate New York, so about an hour north of Manhattan, which means, we had to fly into Kennedy Airport and then drive an hour north to our client. And so, again, for a kid from Nebraska who had, that was like my first adult trip. I was an adult. I was taking a business trip. And so anyway, we were there for 2 weeks and we stayed the weekend. And so our hosts told us that to be careful of the homeless people and not to pander to them, not to give them any money, because they probably already made more money than we did. And they said under those blankets they've got brand spanking new Air Jordans that probably cost more than your whole outfit. And so anyway, this was 1993. So is that right? No, 92. This was 1992. So I don't even remember if Air Jordans were a thing yet. But anyway, you know where I'm going with this, and I think you know what I mean. And so again, even as a young adult, that was a very impressionable, lesson for me. And I carried that kind of grudge or chip or attitude, really, against homeless people for most of my adult life, up until about 10 years ago. So, and honestly, what helped me be more empathetic to, other people and, other issues and other plights was watching the movie Precious. Again, it came out about 10 years ago. I don't remember the exact time, but it was the movie with Gabourey Sidibe and Monique. Monique won a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress, and I think she won the Oscar that year as well for that role. And if you don't know what the movie or the story's about, it is based on a book. Oprah was one of the executive producers. Anyway, Precious is 14 or 15 years old, and she's an 8th grader, so she's a couple of years behind school where she should be. She is abused by her father, and she already has one child from her father's abuse, and then in the course of the movie, she actually has another child as a result of that. And there's a point in the movie, I'm going to warn you that it's pretty graphic and it's pretty realistic, but there's a point in the movie where Monique, who plays Precious's mother, is screaming at her on I think it was a Saturday night, it was a weekend, and she's she's yelling at her, and she's telling her that, I don't know why you keep trying to go to school, you're not going to make anything of yourself, you're no better better than me. You just need to go down to the welfare lady and get yourself on welfare. You got 2 kids now. You can you can make pretty good money from the welfare lady. And that's when that clicked for me. The fact that, you know, her coaching was, or her advice to her daughter was to go get on welfare, because that's all that Monique's character knew how to do. That's all Precious's mother knew how to do, was go to the welfare office and get on welfare. And so that movie was pretty eye-opening for me, and it helped me become much more empathetic than I ever have been to people's just where people are at and where they come from and things like that, you know. You know, in Precious's case, and again, it's a fiction story, but I'm telling you, as a fiction writer, 80% of what I write comes from, you know, my own experience. So I'm telling you, probably it's closer to 90%, you know. But, you know, so knowing that's what her mother's advice was, and you know, Precious was working so hard to get out of where she was at and did not want her mother's life. But the other thing, in addition to her own mother telling her, the other thing that she had to fight against was this collective human consciousness. So Deepak, I learned about the collective human consciousness from Deepak Chopra in a book that he wrote. It's been 4 years since I read the book, 3-4 years since I read the book, and I forget which book it is, but anyway, have you ever had a thought or an opinion come to your head and you were just like, where did that come from? Or you were like, I have no idea why I believe that statement or that thought, and I don't know if I've ever heard my parents say that out loud, but I know they believe that too, or my friends, or you know, whoever, your spouse, your husband. Well, that's the collective human spirit that I believe that we're all connected to. And so again, if I go back to Precious or anybody else in her, you know, for this example or this analogy, but, you know, honestly, we're all working against that right now. You know, we are all working against this, working against that deep-seated consciousness that there's only one way to do things, and if you don't follow this path, that you're not going to be successful. You know, that things don't work out for people who go down other paths. And so that's just, you know, where I'm coming from today. I kind of had this conversation with a friend today, and I was like, this is what I want to talk about tonight is, again, there's that meme out there that says, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. And that's really kind of the point that I'm getting to, you know. So no matter what's going on, we never know the full story of what's going on. And I work every day to help remember that, you know, whether that's somebody tailgating me and trying to get around me, or somebody who cuts me off so they can exit the interstate, you know, at the very last second possible. You know, you just don't know what's going on. That person could be racing home to, you know, a family member who's on hospice, dying at home, and trying to get there to be with them in the last moments of their life, you know. Again, it could be somebody trying to run home to, you know, get a child back into a safe place. You just never know what the other story is going on. You know, same thing with the grocery shopping line. Have you ever kind of been really both people kind of at the line at the same time, and it feels like somebody butts in front of you or takes the right away when, you know, you kind of feel like you should have been just like me, you know. And again, it's kind of, I have to remind myself that it's the same thing. They might be running home to feed, to make the only meal of the day that they're able to for their family. So anyway, in very, 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 a lot of words, you know, I just want to say, again, like the meme says, in a world where you can be anything, just be kind. Be empathetic to where other people are at or not at, or, you know, or their circumstances. You know, we didn't all get to grow up with the same set of circumstances, and that goes for all of us. So anyway, if you like these tips from me, and you want more, I do have a handout, 5 easy steps that your boss doesn't want you to know about following your dream. I believe you need this to overcome your own, again, that collective human consciousness that says people who follow other paths aren't successful. Anyway, message me and I would love to send that to you. Facebook tells me that Keisha joined, and Deepak, and Jeff, my new friend Jeff, and Michael, and Dina, and Marissa. Thank you so much for watching. I'm doing great. Thank you for the kind words. And Jerry jumped on. And yes, Jerry, thank you for worldview. That's kind of what I was looking for. And NJ and Dean all the way from the UK. Isn't it getting late over there? And Noreen, my new friend Noreen. And yes, the kitty gave everybody the eye. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a great week so far. Make it a great week this week. And I will chat with you later.